Join Bev Lazar, spiritual mentor, Reiki master, psychic medium, with Shelly Greenlaw, doula, yogi, and intuitive energy healer. Two sisters walking the path of spirit to share their experience and advice in all things energy, intuition, and beyond. The Empath Sisters.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Empath Sisters. Welcome back. I'm Shelly.
Welcome.
You can maybe hear my voice.
Hey, it's Bev. Yeah, Shelly's just got a little bit of a different voice lately, so you might be able to tell us apart this time.
Yeah, you probably will.
She actually don't sound that bad. Actually, we were just talking prior to this, and she sounded definitely deeper, and now she's sounding a little bit more like herself. So, which is good. But
Yeah.
so welcome back, everybody. We're so happy to be here and carrying on another episode. And this one, we've decided that we would like to talk a little bit more about, or in depth, I guess, on chakras. And so I don't feel like it's going to be like a really long, in depth, educating session. It's definitely like we're just going to bring some awareness there and let's talk about some things about them just to bring some more awareness to you, your own body, and your own chakras and your auric field. And all the
Yeah.
other good things that come along with the chakras. So,
And what better way
yeah. So,
to talk about chakras today with me like this?
yeah. Wait a minute. What is going on with your throat chakra, Shelly?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
kidding.
So yeah, like Bev said,
Kidding.
we'd like to just maybe touch a little bit on chakras and
Mhm.
what each one represents. And again, there are seven main chakras that we have, and there are more
Mhm.
chakras. I just haven't really, dived deep into
Mhm.
the others, but definitely the seven main. And we're gonna go over each one a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
And like Bev said, we'll just kind of give you an idea what they are. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to go ahead and
Exactly.
start with the first one. It's the root chakra. Like I'm going bottom up. I don't know, Bev, did you want to just do it that way or do you want to go down like
Oh yeah,
chronological?
no, we can start it at the root. I'd like
Okay.
to add something
Sure.
to prior to diving into each one if
Yes.
we could. Um, is that I just want to put out there for everybody with the chakras. If you don't know anything about chakras, they are also called energy centers, and they
Mhm.
are located within your physical body. And we'll also share the location, or I can share the location of each chakra as well, and like the color of the
Yep.
chakra, because each of them have a color as well. But what I want to bring to your awareness, and this is also something that I love to teach when I'm doing one-on-one sessions with people, is just to open up your awareness, is that um, with your physical body, we also have an auric field around us, which most people have heard of auras. And if you haven't, that's okay. You can just Google it. But there's, this bubble that's around you. And this bubble is your auric field, which extends about 2 to 3 feet outside of your physical body. And within that auric field, there are auric layers, and every single auric layer is directly connected to every single chakra that is in your body. So, this is why I love to also teach on chakras and just bring people's awareness there, because everything that is kind of going on within your chakras is also in your field, because it's directly connected to the auric layers that are in your field. So a lot of times people don't even realize that this is how we read people,
Right.
because our bubbles extend 2 to 3 feet out above and below us, all around us. And so when we're around other people, this is why we can, be in contact with somebody and be like, you just pick up on it, where it's like, oh, hey, what's going on? Like, you can just tell, or they're like super bubbly and you're just like, okay, tell me, like, what's going on? Why are you so happy? You can kind of sense what is going on with them. And that's because you are picking it up in their field, because that is what is actually going on within them. So I just want to bring some awareness there, and then let's dive into, every chakra. And we're going to start with the root, Shelly said. So we're going to start from bottom all the way up. So
yeah. Thank you very much for that clarification. And with the root chakra, it is at the very base of your spine. And when it comes to the root chakra, the color for the root chakra is normally red, or like a very I don't even know, not really like a burnt kind of, you know what I mean? Like it's a very deep red. And not only that, there's different things with the chakras that have they also have like an element with it. And what the element to that chakra is earth, which, really resonates with the root chakra because it's at the very base of your spine. It's where we want to stay grounded and connected to the earth. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But there's also other things that are, and like I said, there's so much you can dive into a chakra. And again, like I mentioned, there's a color, there's an element, there's even an action with it. There's a relationship with it. There's, even your main function, there's just so much to a chakra. But I don't know if I want to say it this way, but the main function of a root chakra is grounding. So grounding yourself in, like I said earlier, connecting to the earth, and the physical parts of it. It's also where you're connecting to the earth plane, you're grounding your physical health even. It's trusting yourself, what's the other one?
There's also it's about stability and security, and also survival. This is where our survival instinct comes from. And if we've ever had anything happening to us that may have affected us growing up or in your life that has affected your state of survival, a lot of times you can have an imbalance in your root chakra, just because, of course, it's that feeling of flighting out of your body. When we go into that fight or flight, we're not grounded. And so this is where we want to work on, if there is a blockage in the root chakra, we want to kind of come in and ground back into the body and into that root chakra. And so it can be with the state of survival as well. If there's anything that has come up, just even as a blockage to kind of put out there. If anyone has, ever had those experiences where, you've kind of feel like you're in state of survival, and so there's also glands and organs to each chakra as well. So the root chakra that Shelly's talking about, some of the organs and glands that speak to that root chakra will be your adrenals. If you can understand that fight, flight, right? We want to be grounded in the body. So we've got the adrenals, we've got the kidneys, your spinal column, of course, because that, as Shelly said, it's the root chakra is right at the base of the spine, which is at the coccyx of the spine. And so, there's also the colon, and then we've also got your legs and then bones. So again, back to structure. So, So yeah, just some additional things. And of course, there's crystals you can use for each of these chakras as well. If you're having imbalances and you want some support in healing them and clearing them, there's that too, which you can absolutely look into. That are wonderful. Shelly and I use that, or also sound. Shelly and I both use sound with chakras as well, because each chakra also has its own frequency. So it just the sound also helps through the tuning fork, also helps to kind of bring that back into balance. So there's so many
just cool things. Add that they're in yoga. We use, mantras, of course, and in the root chakra mantras, they are the I am. So an I am safe or I am enough. So those are other
Right.
things too to help you kind of like, come into balance with your root chakra and ground yourself. And if you're ever, in a seated position, whether you're in yoga or not, and just meditating, what type of thing, you can always do those kinds of things as well,
Yeah.
which are great for that as well. So just wanted to
Yeah,
add.
absolutely. No,
Yeah.
it's so awesome because it makes sense, right? I am
Mhm.
safe and all that
Yeah.
is like I am. So it's like just about you and
Yes,
being safe. If there's an issue with survival, and
that's right.
sometimes we're just so busy, so we just need to kind of come back into our
Yeah,
bodies. So it's a
exactly.
great
Yeah.
mantra.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that's kind of like just like a good starting
Yeah.
uh, awareness to your root chakra.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
sacral chakra is the color of it is basically what I like to say is if you take two fingers and you place them underneath your belly button, that's
Mhm.
about where your sacral chakra lies. So basically, it's like your reproduction. So if you think
Right.
about like where your reproduction system is, it's all about in that area.
Mm.
And the element of this one is water.
That's right.
And the functions of it, of course, are like procreation, your physical force. This is kind of like our sexuality, things like that. That's what kind of lies within the functions of the sacral chakra. So, of course, like our power and stuff as well, or creativity. Usually, when I see people getting very creative or creativity starting to come in, I can start to see like not just embers,
Yeah.
within the sacral, they start to like get flaming, getting higher and higher. And it's like really starting to go. So, which is awesome. So, creativity is coming in.
Yeah.
Some of the glands and organs, of course, like, the ovaries and prostate, genitals, things like that. Again, just in that area of the
Mhm.
reproduction system. And some of those different studies and lessons, if Shelly, you want to chakra.
I was just gonna say that like the other parts that I wanted to add was like it's
Mm-hmm.
so a part of where we hold emotions as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like where we are going to like feel into our emotions right now, or even to
Yeah.
respond to it. But also, it's also play and fun. That's where we kind
Mm-hmm.
of go into like our like inner child per se, what have you. So it's not just all about the seriousness of like our emotions and stuff, but we also want to have a
Right.
playful and fun side to that, right? So
Mm-hmm.
which is
Absolutely.
what sacral does as well, right? And I think a lot of us tend to forget that part of us because as we grow as adults, we do forget to be playful and fun. But if you
Mm-hmm.
are brave, then you're in
Yeah.
touch with your sacral.
Yeah. And
So
there's not really any issues going on, no blockage or
no.
sluggish stuff going on in your sacral.
Yeah. And to add to the last chakra, like if you wanted to do like a mantra to help balance your sacral, it's another one where you can, I'm just trying to remember if it said, oh, I think I forget what it, oh, this is a second. I think I missed it, but you can also use like the I am, but you can always do like I move, I move with ease or go with the flow. I believe in my needs, things like that. So those are type of mantras that you can use to
Mm-hmm.
help balance your sacral. And again, play with it. That's what it's for, right? Just play
Mm-hmm.
whatever resonates for you in
Yeah.
that chakra for sure for those mantras. So
Yeah. I was thinking like, I am fun.
yeah.
I don't even just saying it brings that energy of like excitement
Yeah.
and just like
Yeah.
joy, right? It's like, I am
Yeah.
fun.
Or
So,
like this is the one that I like. I am worthy of feeling fulfilled,
yeah,
or stuff like that. So just, you
exactly.
know, play around, whatever. There's tons and tons and tons of mantras for
Yes, there are.
chakra. So I'm just using this as examples. So
Yeah.
totally research to whatever resonates with you. So
Yeah, or feel into whatever comes to you,
yeah,
channeling in or just checking in with your own body and seeing what resonates with your energy as well.
that's
So
right. Exactly. Yes.
yeah.
And so we're going to move on. So that's a little bit
Mhm.
of the sacral. So the next chakra is the solar plexus. And like Bev said, it's like taking two fingers below the belly button for the sacral, but this is
Mhm.
for the solar plexus. So this is now above the belly button, and it's just
Mhm.
under your like your what do you call that? I always get it wrong, but the one that goes underneath your
Your sternum.
yeah, that's it. Thank you.
It's
I'm
like,
like,
don't
what?
say sacrum. That's not
No,
the
I
right
know. Yeah,
area.
it's not the sacrum. Yeah, no, I was like, I always get it like
The
stuck that way, but
sternum.
it's the
Yeah.
sternum. And so that is where the solar plexus is located.
Yeah.
And with the color of the solar plexus, it is
Mhm.
a yellow. So,
Yeah.
and the element on the solar plexus is fire, and
Mhm.
action to it is doing. And it also, like for the solar plexus, that's where you have like your strength, your discipline, your self-esteem. um Sometimes we hold our guilt or our shame there.
Yeah.
uh,
It's
so
just also like our personal power and our
that's right.
will,
Yes, exactly. Yes.
and like
um
authority,
yeah.
but also like transformation, awakening, like
Mhm.
warmth, our laughter, like all of this is all that sits there and
That's where
resides
we
within
hold
us.
it.
And basically, what I would like to say too is like from the solar plexus to the sacral to the root, those are what are considered the physical part, like the physical chakras. And
Yes.
then the next one we'll talk about is the heart, which creates as the bridge between the upper chakras, which is more of like our higher self and
Right.
more of like the intuitive parts, so the spiritual self. And then the
Mm.
heart is the bridge to the physical self. So which
Right.
is those three bottom chakras. So just wanted to
Yeah.
add that in there too.
Yeah, no, for sure. And but like with that, yeah, you're right. Like the main functions of that is your will and your power and assertiveness and that kind
Mhm.
of stuff. And um uh like, but you also have to give yourself um grace and ease with that too, right? Because like what I said
Mhm.
earlier is we do hold things there. And when it comes to, like, I know I'm kind of jumping a little bit, but um when it comes to the solar plexus, like when like when it is out of balance, I guess, that is when you're going to notice, for some people, maybe not everybody, but is where you are, having digestive problems, having,
Mhm.
heartburn or acid reflux or, things like that. So if you're feeling those are kind of like symptoms or signs that your solar plexus is out of balance.
Mhm.
And so a lot of times, like we were just mentioning, is try to balance it back in, is whether you see someone for Reiki, or if do uh oh my gosh, I kid you. Sorry everybody. This sinus thing is killing me. Sorry. I'm
It's
so
only because I'm looking at Shelly and just when I see her, it's just like a moth to the light. I don't know where she went. It's just so
literally
funny.
my
I couldn't
mind
even
just went,
think.
it literally just shut off, and I was like, what happened? I just lost what I was gonna say.
Sorry, everybody.
Sorry about
I'm assuming she meant to talk about sound,
yes.
maybe, and the, like tuning, retuning the
Yes,
chakra.
I was.
Um, of course, you can also check in with yourself as to like, how are things going in your life? Is there a place where you've or is it on a daily that you're losing some of that will or that like personal power of yours? that, you know, somebody else is kind of taking over and you're not using your ability and your power to be able just to speak your truth and do what feels right to you. And you kind of
Yeah.
dampen that. So it's just kind of like bringing things together, of taking a look at that and saying, okay, well, what is going on with me? Am I
Yeah.
using my authority? Am I using my energy? How am I using it? Am I trying to control things? Am I out of control?
Mhm.
But when we have things that are out of balance on the metaphysical, sometimes it comes in and down into the physical. And this is where you'll start to have those physical symptoms. So it's just to bring your awareness there so that you're able to start to like heal that or move
Right.
it or work on it. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
yes, thank you very much for doing that.
I,
I legit, I'm
no
so sorry.
problem.
Yeah. And again, I agree with what Bev was saying. That's, um, you know, just some, physical symptoms that you can get with the chakras. With the solar plexus mantras, if want to use any, for example, it can be, I am empowered, so
Hmm.
that you can bring back that, feeling of power in your
Hmm.
solar plexus, or I am
Yeah,
confident, things like that, that is going to give you and boost your self-esteem. So
hmm,
just, in mindful of that as well, if you're going to be ever, meditating or doing yoga poses and things like
totally.
that, you want to work on
Well,
the solar plexus.
energy is everything, and there's energy behind words. And so that's why using these words bring that energy.
That's
So
right. Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
So a simple way to like help bring and restore that balance into that chakra.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next chakra, and it is the heart chakra. And that is literally in the center of your chest.
Yeah.
So basically, like it says, heart chakra. You know where your heart is. Now, when it comes to the chakras, it's literally like a line, like basically following down your whole spine. So it's in
Hmm.
the middle. Okay. Um,
Hmm.
again, like I said, it's the chest region. The element is air. The color is green. Some people, even though it says green, I do know that some books, some people do refer the heart chakra to a different color, which is pink. So
Hmm.
it just depends on, who you read, or, whatever, or however you feel or align to that color. For myself, it's green, but
Hmm.
there are some people that actually like pink. So
Hmm.
just
Yeah,
because pink is, the color of love and all that. So they always resonate,
exactly.
right?
The
Um,
secondary color. Hmm.
yeah, and the action is connecting. So it's also like about self acceptance. The main function of it is, cultivating love, relationships, self-love, self-acceptance,
Hmm.
compassion, for love for others, healthy.
Yeah.
There's just so much with the heart chakra. Really, there really is.
Yeah. We've got the positive ones of like the unconditional love, and you've got
Yes,
forgiveness, our compassion, our understanding, like our
yes.
balance, our peace, like all of
Yeah.
those things, openness, harmony. And then we can have some of those negative ones of like repression of love, right?
Yep.
Or emotional instability, or being out of
Grief.
balance, or heart
Yeah.
problems,
Yep.
circulation problems, things like that. So just bring it back to that like physical. So
Yes.
what would be a mantra for the heart, Shelley?
Um, you know, this one is
I
funny
am
because
love.
yeah,
That's literally, I'm thinking,
yeah, like
I am love and I am
for
loved.
this one, like honestly, it is. It is about
Mhm.
like what I said about, self-love and things like that, but you could use like I give and receive love and joy,
Yeah.
or I love and accept myself. Um,
Hmm.
or I am worthy of love. There's
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
So, if you're feeling a little bit just, out of sorts or whatever, honestly, the heart chakra mantras are good for every one of them.
Hmm.
Personally, that's just my opinion. Just because there's just so many of them, and because the heart chakra is such a like wide variety, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would definitely use any of those for any of them. So that would be for the heart.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the next one we're going to move into is the throat. And that's literally at the throat, the chakras there. And for the element, it is actually sound, which it should make sense to you only because like when we talk, we give out a vibration, right? We give a
Yep.
sound out. The color is a blue. Some people say blue or turquoise. It just depends on, like I said, who you are.
I see it as sky blue. That's for me.
Exactly,
Like I see it
right?
as
Like
a light
everybody's
blue.
different blue, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
I find my throat chakra is more of a dark blue. That's how I resonate with mine.
Yeah.
And the action is speaking, of course, right? Because it is
Mm-hmm.
the throat chakra.
Yeah.
Relationship is expression. So obviously you express
Communication.
yourself, communication,
Yeah.
clarity, you know,
Our
just
knowledge, our wisdom,
yes,
like all this
exactly.
stuff comes through our throat.
Living our truth, speaking our truth,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And the opposite of that is more like about lies, or
Yeah.
negative talk, negative, anything that's on the negative side of that, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the mantra, of course, is about speaking, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
I speak, right? And so if you were to wanting to use a throat chakra mantra, it would be more like, it doesn't necessarily say like I am this or this or that. It would be like my story matters, or I honor my inner voice, that
Right.
kind of thing. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be something that I would suggest using.
Mm-hmm.
Making noise. I'm just going through my notes.
Oh yeah. It's all good.
Yeah. So anyway, if you want to go on to the next chakra, Bev.
Sure. Yeah. Moving on up, we've got the brow chakra, which is also known as the third eye.
Mhm.
So the location is the center of the forehead, kind of right between the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Um, and the color of this chakra is indigo. So, or can be like dark blue, navy. Everybody sees it differently. It's kind of what kind of, when you use visualization, what kind of comes to you, that's the color that will be your chakra.
Mhm.
So for me, I see it as more of like a navy blue for myself. It's like
Really?
a dark navy blue. It's really pretty.
And
I
I
like
I
it.
see it as a purple, like a almost like a lightish purple. I don't
Oh,
actually.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Cool. That's so, yeah, just
I
how it
just
is.
do.
Yep. And
Yeah.
the element for this one is light.
Mhm.
And so the functions, of course, this one, so the gland and organ actually is our pituitary gland.
Yeah.
That's one of them anyway. And so the functions or things for the third eye will be like, this is our intuition, this is our insight, our imagination. So we think of the mind and like intuitively, like everything in our third eye comes to us if we think of clairvoyance. We've got concentration, then we've got like the peace of mind, we've got our wisdom, and like just like soul realization comes from this place of like you can see beyond just the physical realm.
Right.
And just some of the negative qualities would be like low self-worth, things like that. If you have headaches, nightmares, things
Yeah.
like that is kind of when you're having some problems with your third eye. Some people have theirs
Yeah.
closed, some have them opening, some are small, some are wide open. So
Yeah.
everybody's is different. But
That's right. And like
that
what Bev said, like the third eye chakra is
um,
literally like I see. So, it is
right.
definitely to
Yeah.
do, with seeing, right? So that's why we have the third eye. And for the third eye chakra mantras, it would be like, I trust my intuition, or I
Mm-hmm.
see all things with clarity, things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Or I believe in my vision. So those are really, really good ones. Yeah. So, again, like I said, these are just little snippets of each chakra. Maybe down the road, we'll get really dive into
Yeah.
some of
I think
these
that
or
would be awesome.
individually. But
Yeah.
our last final chakra is the crown chakra, and it
Mm-hmm.
is literally the top of your head. Um,
Ding.
and it's the element. Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
but the element of that is thought. The color is purple or violet.
Yeah.
Again, I know I mentioned that I see violet or like a purple in my third eye. So when I see the crown, I actually see white. It's so bright for me. That's just for me. But for the color, they do say it's purple. And the action of it is knowing. And the relationship is self-knowledge. But it's also like awareness, intention, uh,
Hmm.
awakened consciousness, ability to tap into higher consciousness, spiritual connection,
Yeah.
all of the things that we, you know, um, like, because that's why we're always in our mind, right? We're always thinking. It's that,
Well,
uh,
and thinking, and we're also connecting to our higher self.
that's
This
right.
is our
Yes,
unification with our higher self.
that's
And
right.
then there's also that self with the human personality. So there's kind of like that connection. And then
Hmm.
just like that knowing of like oneness with the infinite, if you look at it that way, like our spiritual will, all of this stuff. It's like you're opening your crown is like the top of your head. It's the openness to everything that's out and beyond,
Yeah.
basically, if you
Yeah.
want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
So this is like
Exactly.
our divine wisdom where it comes from. This is also our understanding if we go on to like the physical side of things or the human side of things. So like this is our understanding. And so this is where our perception of beyond time and space comes from. It's
That's
just
right.
what's out there.
Yes.
And that continuance of consciousness. It's
Right.
just out there.
Exactly. And that's where we connect, right? So,
Yeah.
when it comes to, a mantra for that,
Hmm.
really it is about just, connecting.
Absolutely.
Really I mean, there are mantras, but for me, I just feel like honestly, the ones that I mentioned before, any one of them can
Hmm.
be connection.
Yeah.
So any mantra doesn't really matter which one, whatever resonates with you for this one
Yeah.
is for any
Yeah.
connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the main 7 main chakras. Again, like I said, they're just little snippets of
Yeah. Just
they each are.
basic
Yep.
awareness is where we're starting. We just want to bring the
Yep.
awareness to like the energy centers in your body, just kind of like planting some seeds. And yeah, maybe down the road, Shelly and I will do an episode on, part 2 of like diving deeper into them and maybe what crystals to use or different
Right.
things that we can do or how to look at things from the metaphysical to the physical. And so we
Hmm.
can definitely do that on another episode to
Yes.
come. Hmm.
Yeah. Very
So
exciting.
yeah,
Very happy to at least give you this little piece. And
absolutely.
hope you learned a little bit so far. And
Yeah.
yeah, we hope to, like I said, extend next time. And thank you so much for listening. And
Yeah, thank you so much. Drop us any questions if you like, you know where to find us. And
Mhm.
we appreciate you all so very much and for tuning in and listening to us to share some information, knowledge, wisdom, however you want to look at it,
Yeah.
insight. I don't know, but we appreciate you all so much. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in with
Yes.
the Empath Sisters today. And we are
Thank you for listening to my voice today.
yeah, it actually didn't sound that bad. So yeah, we are sending you love, light, and gratitude wherever this may find you all. Take care,
Yes.
everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.